Listen to me, American people. Look, not the government, not this, not that. And by the way, let me just say this real quick. Maybe these people will hear this. I'm not an anarchist at all. Never have been, never will be. I just don't like it when stuff gets out of hand, okay? I don't like it at all when stuff gets out of hand and abuse just keeps going and going and going. There has to be a stopping point. There has to be a time to rake the table clean, okay? And get somebody in there that can do it according to the way it's supposed to be done. It's just that some people out there are too stupid and too ignorant. Look the words up in the dictionary to understand the difference between truth and apathy and intelligence and understanding and knowledge. They don't have a clue. They have an opinion, and that's about the size of it. But I don't want to get off on that. It's just that you know, I just don't like people accusing me of being an anarchist when I'm not. I just know what the Word of God says. Okay, you understand me? But back to, I don't want to get off my point. Back to the deer for a minute. The deer, they're nosing the snow now. See, and I'm telling you, they're eating stuff they wouldn't normally eat in the good times. They're doing things they wouldn't normally have to do in the summer. And of course, it's 32 degrees now, so it's not snowing. It's actually rain that's freezing when it hits the dirt. So they're not having a good day, regardless of them having fur coats on and winter coats and all that. It's not a good time right now. And just as it is with the deer I'm looking at, so it is with America. It's not a good time right now, y'all. It's not a good time. It ain't a good time at all. But don't curse yourself. And I don't mean damn or nothing like that. What I mean, we should all refrain from that, especially me, calling myself a man of God. But we're not perfect. I understand that. But what I mean is this. Let's just say that me and my wife had a disagreement on something. You know, and maybe she got a little to me. I mean, if I were to go, well, you don't know nothing, you're stupid. You know, I wouldn't do that. Because I curse my wife by calling her something she's not. So I don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, maybe when I was building houses and stuff, what if I cut a piece of crown mold too short, an inch too short? Somebody was talking to me and you know, I measured it's supposed to be 35 and a half, and I measured it 34 and a half, and I cut it, and I go in there to the room to put it up in the bathroom, a little old small stall, and then I'm like, so would I throw the crown mold down, go to stomping it? You stupid piece of wood! You piece of nothing! You should have been the right size. Or do I go out there and sling my $700 miter saw down and blame it on it? Or do I even curse my own self and throw my tape away and say, you're not a carpenter anymore? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to curse myself like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down a little bit, think about what I'm doing, and then I'm going to make sure, and I always had a motto in construction. I always measure twice and cut once. But you see what I'm saying. There's a lot of people hurting in America. A lot of people hurting. Strategies may have to change to survive what's here and what's coming. Because I got news for you. I've already told you. I pulled down a bunch of videos, but I've already told you. We ain't seen nothing yet to what's coming to this nation. Now that one-eyed devil, boob tube, whatever you want to call it, ain't telling you the truth. It has not been telling you the truth. But telling you what you better do. Start telling yourself, I'm going to make it. I may have to adapt. I may have to change strategy. I may have to do this. I may have to do that to overcome. But I'm going to, because I'm not a failure or quit. I don't care $200 a week or $1,000 a week. You're going to be in some boat before it's over. See, when I was military, I had to mentally adapt to different environments. And so it is now. I have to adapt. And I hope, I'll say this to Friday rant, but okay, a lot of times when I be working on maybe putting some siding on a house, sometimes workers wouldn't show up. And are you there? Okay. I need to do my 2 hands, I don't have them. So let me tell you what I would do. Just, if the siding was on 6.5 increments, I could make me a block and tack that block and tack that block, and there the other end was held up, and I didn't have no help, but I was able to put the siding on. I have to adapt and overcome in situations. So do you, America. You're fixing to have to adapt in things. Life is different now. It's going to become a whole lot more different here in the near future. America, you're not quitters. You're not quitters. I want you to hear me. You're not. You're not. I decree and declare that you are not quitters, but you're winners. Now, we've not been very smart as a people to allow this to get to where it's at. You understand what I'm saying? We all can realize that we've not. I mean, we're smart people, but we have not used our smart to get where it's at. You see what I'm saying? We have allowed it. We are the blame. But if you get this old boy's video and you digest what I've already said and what I'm going to say in the coming up, the day that you watch this video will be the day that you stand up, you gird up your mind and you yourself back together and you say, no more, this is fixing to be different. Be different. I am not a failure. I'm not a quitter. No matter what's thrown at me, I will adapt and overcome it. Because I'm not a quitter. You see? I want you to hear me. I want you to hear what Bill is telling you. Strategies may have to change. We may have to do stuff we don't want to do. I told somebody the other day, a friend of mine, and I said, I'm not above a duty with a dirty spoon if I do. But then I think about, it didn't have to be this way, y'all. We did not have to be so apathetic, so self-centered, and live in such a little old bitty box or circle, and stay in that little circle, and say, well, let's leave it up to somebody else to fix this before it gets too bad. Well, it's too bad now. It's done got real bad. See? Because we are the blame. We're the blame. Because we allowed it to happen. We allowed the government to grow so big and so strong and become so evil. And as long as we had our little circle and we had our paychecks coming in and we were doing this and doing that and well, it's never going to touch me. But guess what? It touched us all now, hasn't it? Yeah, it sure has. It's touched us all. That's not a government official that don't have a government job. Or it's not a banker that's been bailed out. That didn't receive by the way, the taxpayer money. I'll be right back.